You gotta love the man's fashion sense. Regardless of your opinion on the man himself. Well, maybe not that one so much.
And now, the series finale of Better Call Saul.
Yow, let's go.
Y'all see him in the street struggling, young, dumb, and thuggin', give a fuck about nothing. Stuck at rock bottom, trying to come up on something. Pumping from sundown to sun.
Man, I freaking hate ties. I always feel like I'm being choked whenever I wear one, but today is a very special day. It's a special occasion, so I'm gonna rock one just for y'all, but let's get this party started. What's up, guys? Street Justice here. Welcome back to my channel. We are back to the reaction to Better Call Saul. This is the final season, the series finale, season 6, episode 13, Saul Gone. And after this, that's all, folks. No more entries into the Breaking Bad universe. I actually read a recent interview with Vince Gilligan where he was even saying now is probably the best time for him to really move on and try something new. But if all else fails, he can always go back to the Breaking Bad universe because there is definitely a lot more spin-offs that he could do. So, you know what? I feel like I'm definitely on board with that because as much as I love this series and Breaking Bad, I could definitely use a break as well, especially after Camino also. I kind of forgot about that because I'm definitely interested in seeing what else he has in store for us. I don't know if it's going to be more in line with something like X-Files, but hey, like he said, he can always come back to this series, so later down the line, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually does. But yeah, as for this finale, man, I don't know what to think, what my final prediction is, what exactly is going to happen. I'm pretty sure things are going to end in the courtroom with Saul, Jimmy, Gene, whatever you want to call him, finally being convicted because, like I was saying in my last reaction, for everybody else's fate, it's either been death or they've gotten away. I just don't see that happening with Saul, especially after the last episode as well with Kim and her basically giving up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see her in the courtroom also testifying against him. But yeah, I'm super excited for this finale, guys, so I'm not going to waste any time. If you guys are looking for my full reactions to the show, link to my Patreon is down in the description below. If you are subscribed to the channel, now's a very good time to click that button down below. Smash the like button while you're there. With that said, let's jump right in. Let's check it out. Let's go. Simpler times when he was just a simple bag man. That was an incredible episode, by the way. This entire series, well, that's something, I don't know. It would really have to flop for this series finale for me to hate on this series as a whole. Because I freaking love it. We didn't see this. Mike! I want to see everybody back for this episode. Absolutely everybody.
You're gonna make yourself sick.
Better than piss. Yeah, fill that shit up. Rinse it out too.
We're sitting on $7 million here. Literally.
It's not ours.
They'd be killed. They'd be found and then killed.
First thing we do, take $6 million and build a time machine.
You look like a history buff, right? What would you?
He definitely is.
Times?
March 17th, 1984.
Back when his son was alive.
Day I took my first bribe. And then I go forward. There's some people I'd like to check on in 5 or 10 years. Make sure they're doing okay.
Hopefully we find out that they're okay 5 to 10 years after the events of this.
1965. That's the day Warren Buffett took over at Berkshire Hathaway.
Is there such a thing as a trillionaire?
There can be.
That's it, honey.
It's all about money to him.
Nothing you change.
I love this real ass convo. Mike always came with the realness though.
I'm rested.
No regrets. Incredible shot as always. This is it, guys. Okay, now back to last episode's cliffhanger.
He's headed south.
Oh shit. He's done, man. Oh yeah, helicopters are out. Man. This is so not good. He's got to have more planned out, like an extra storage, car tucked away somewhere. 5-0. Dumpster diving. Oh. Going back to season 1. Getting all the throwbacks already. We got the desert one, Bagman. We got Mike. We got the dumpster. I feel like... Oh shit. Oh man, he's a mess. I was gonna say though, I feel like because he already called the vacuum cleaner, And he's like, I'll handle it myself, that he's gonna be charged even more this time around. Or he might even say no.
Anybody home? Hands, now!
Yo! As bad as it sounds, he should have killed Marion. If I was a fugitive, I'm not a killer, she's an innocent old woman, but if I'm a fugitive, I'm gonna do what it takes to stay a fugitive. That's why I'm never gonna become a fugitive. My lawyer will ream your ass. I'm not even mad either. In most cases, like most shows I watch, when you're rooting for the protagonist, the title character, you want to see him get away with absolutely everything, but I'm actually perfectly fine with this.
I need another phone call!
William Oakley and Associates. Trust experience. Trust Oakley. Bill Oakley speaking.
Trust experience, trust Oakley. I like that.
So they finally caught you.
Listen, it's your lucky day. I am talking to Saul Goodman's new advisory council. Advisory council?
This puts you on the map, amigo.
Bang, bang! That's opportunity knocking. Get off your ass and answer the door.
This would be big for him.
The airport.
Wait.
High profile client.
Supposing hypothetically.
No matter who your lawyer is, you are screwed.
Oh yeah, he's going
So I
down
gotta
regardless.
ask, where do you see this ending?
With me on top, like always.
Man, I can't even begin to imagine how this is gonna go. I didn't expect to see him busted in the first like 10 seconds of the episode either. What?
Rico.
Marie!
Not 10, but 27 predicate violations.
Yo, I just got chills from seeing Marie.
Distributed controlled substance. On this scale, life sentence stat max. Life plus 190 years.
It's a very long time.
Listen, you've got Agent Schrader's widow back there. Why don't you invite her in?
Oh, wait
I mean, you owe her that much, don't you?
Well, no, she can...
Bring her in. They're gonna bring her in. Yo, this is nuts. When I said bring absolutely everybody back, I did not expect to see Marie. This is so nuts. She looks the exact same. Like she didn't age a day. I've never been more happy to see Marie, even though under these circumstances.
They tell me they found you in a garbage dumpster. Well, that makes sense.
You're garbage.
My husband was the best man that I've ever known. He lived to help others. His partner, Steve Gomez. Steve.
Gomi.
They were shot dead and left in a hole in the desert.
We saw that whole thing.
And you.
Another show.
You helped the two-faced, poisonous bastard behind it all.
I met your husband a few times. Straight shooter.
That's Tuco. He was a straight shooter.
Victims. And so am I. Two men threw a sack over my head, they hog-tied me, and they drove me out into the desert with a gun pointed at my head.
Could this get him off?
My introduction to Walter White.
That's not a lie. We know that.
From that moment on, there hasn't been a minute that I wasn't afraid. Walter White might be dead, but Jesse Pinkman and the others, they're still out there. Somewhere.
What others?
Mrs. Schrader.
Badger, Skinny Pete, they're out there.
You are looking at a man who has lost everything. I have nobody. I have nothing.
Can this save him in any way? I don't know how this works, or is it too much already?
Do you think jurors are gonna buy that?
One. All I need is one.
You're not going to negotiate with this man. You're not.
What'd he get?
18. Based on the facts now known to the government, the anticipated offense level is 35. Results in an anticipated advisory sentencing guidelines range of 85 to 90 months imprisonment.
That's honestly like a slap on the wrist, all things considered.
7.5 years.
Let's get this thing signed and get the hell out of here.
We're good with that.
19. Term to be served at FCI Butner Low, North Carolina, Wing D. It's the only federal institution with a golf program.
Seems like he's pushing it now.
FCI Butner, low, wing
D. Wing D.
Yo, so he's basically going to be living like a lavish life, protected.
And now we're done.
Hold on. I can oil everybody's locks.
No more games.
Now I got a sweetener. It's nothing I've talked about.
Man, he is too much. Even in the very end.
You're talking about Howard Hamlin. That's your sweetener. He's trying to sell us the Hamlin thing. Sounds like you and your ex aren't
She already gave up.
on a basis.
Kim Wexler walked into the Albuquerque DA's office last month. She spilled her guts about Howard Hamlin. On the record.
Last chance. Do we go to trial or do we have a deal? Let's get this in writing. Not a word.
He was not ready for that. There he is. The man, the myth, the legend.
I'm gonna be sorry if I ask.
Heisenberg.
I'm putting a stop to it. You wouldn't happen to have a pocket knife or a screwdriver in one of those bags, would you?
No.
What? Speak up.
No. Hey, you're a scientist, right? So I have a question. What would you do if you had a time machine?
A time machine? The kind of time travel that you're thinking of is a scientific impossibility. It would violate the second law of thermodynamics.
There's got to be something you can go back and change if you could.
You are talking about regrets, so if you want to ask about regrets, just ask about regrets. You know what, never mind.
When I was 22, I pulled a slip and fall outside Marshall Fields. I did. I actually hurt myself. I mean, my knee's never been the same.
That's your regret?
Slip and fall. So you were always like this?
Pretty much. Exactly like what Chuck was saying before, too. It's who he is.
Hey, Tommy, I'm leaving early. Can you let Ricardo know?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks.
Sure, no problem. Even to the last episode, they never let us know what these characters are up to. What are you doing now, Kim?
You want to volunteer? Yes? Can you answer a phone? Sure. Then there you go.
Gotta start somewhere.
Central Florida Legal Aid, how can I help you?
She's right back into it. I do feel like this is a good life for her, but will she be free when everything is said and done? Will she still even have the opportunity to do this?
Hello?
Kim,
Yes?
this is Suzanne Erickson.
Hi, Susan.
Yo.
I want to make it clear this call is completely unofficial. Your ex, Saul Goodman, he was arrested in Nebraska. He's giving testimony that affects you personally.
What kind of testimony?
Is this it? I said we wind up in court. I feel like it's not even like a crazy prediction. It kind of had to.
It's showtime.
Folks.
All rise. Court's now in session. Please take a seat.
I've never been more invested in a trial. Never mind Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and all that nonsense.
Defendant has requested to use the name Saul Goodman. So, it's
United
States versus Saul Goodman. The parties have reached a plea agreement, satisfactory to both sides. Well, I have questions. Mr.
Okay, here we go.
Will you please come up to the microphone? Has the defendant provided substantial assistance to the government?
Your Honor.
Oh, shit.
Mr. Oakley, please advise your client to stay silent at this time.
If you'll allow me to speak, I think I can save the court's valuable time.
It's kind of already speaking. Just go.
Go ahead. Briefly.
2 years ago, a man came into my office. He said his name was Mayhew. That night, as I was leaving my office, I was attacked.
Same story.
And when they pulled the hood off, I was kneeling in front of an open grave with a gun pointed at my head. That was my introduction to Walter White. I was terrified.
He has this rehearsed.
But not for long.
Oh, shit.
That night, I saw opportunity. And for the next 16 months, my every waking moment was spent building Walter White's drug empire.
Hold on, Mr. Goodman, stop right there.
This isn't good.
Your Honor, we are satisfied for Mr. Goodman to continue.
I lied to the government about Kim Wexler. I just wanted her to come here today. I wanted her to hear this.
What?
So yeah, I wasn't there when the meth was cooked. I wasn't there when it was sold. I didn't witness any of the murders, but I damn well knew what was happening. If he hadn't walked into my office that day, Walter White would have been dead or behind bars within a month. And Agent Schrader and Agent Gomez and a whole lot of other people would still be alive.
Where is he going with this, man?
Fact is, Walter White couldn't have done it without me. You got that?
Your Honor, we move to strike Mr. Goodman's comments.
On what grounds?
Speculation.
What happened to Howard Hamlin? It was
a damn shame. That's what it was. I'll say it.
After that, Kim had the guts to start over. She left town. But I'm the one who ran away. And my brother, Chuck.
What a good callback for Chuck.
The most brilliant guy I ever met, but he was limited. I got his malpractice insurance canceled. I took away the one thing he lived for.
Finally admits it. Finally says it out loud. Not the best place to be doing it, but he's opening up.
Mr. Goodman, sit down and stay seated.
The name's McGill. I'm James McGill. Yes, I did.
Was that Chuck? Welcome back, Chuck.
My car conked out on the 40. I almost got creamed by a cement truck.
Everybody came back for this episode. We got Jesse last episode, so I'm fine that he didn't return for this one, but Walt returning was a must.
They had those apples that you like?
He did everything for him.
I could hire someone to do this. I could get someone from the office.
I'm doing it.
Different times.
Why? Because you're my brother. Duh. You do the same for me.
I'm hoping you didn't steal that from a motel ice machine.
You can hope. I'm gonna take a pass on the heart-to-heart, Chuck. Jimmy.
If you don't like where you're heading, there's no shame in going back and changing your path.
Oh, when have you ever changed your path?
We always end up having the same conversation, don't we?
You do. H.G. Wells' Time Machine. And the lantern there too. Yo, absolutely brilliant. The directing. I'm not even mad, to be honest. Like, he deserves it. He screwed up so much at the end too. He just couldn't help himself. Much like what Chuck always said. Do you recognize him?
Hey. Better call Saul.
Oh shit. Now everybody knows.
Back here. See? Told you. It's better call Saul.
All right. You call Saul? Better. Call Saul.
Get the hell out! Call Saul!
Really, he's gonna do just fine in there.
Saul. Lawyer's here. I got your song.
Yo, people got his back.
Man.
No cuffs, please.
Damn. That was pretty obvious, though.
Thank you.
I just didn't know she could be a lawyer again. I thought what she was doing there, volunteering, was pretty much the most she could do.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hi. How did you...
Turns out my New Mexico bar card doesn't have an expiration date.
I don't smoke anymore. I quit a couple years ago now, but I would have a smoke there. Like back in the day.
You had him down to 7 years.
Yeah, I did.
86 years.
Wow. Damn. Whew. That is intense, man. Such another good callback, too. He seems at peace, though. Like, he's accepted. I think he accepted it before when he was in that courtroom. Even before that, he knew what he was going to do. And that's how it ends. What is this? Yo. Farewell. Better call Saul. And thank you.
I'm Bob Odenkirk, and I wanted to say hi.
What a wonderful, wonderful time of my life.
So I hope we've made you happy.
I've seen Mike get choked up before, too.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. All right, let me slide on over here so we can get into our outro. I don't know why I'm a little bit emotional. It's whenever there's an ending, whenever things come to an end, I really suck at goodbyes. So, yeah. All right, guys. That was Better Call Saul, the series finale, season 6, episode 13. Saul Gone. And that's all, folks. What an incredible episode. What an incredible series. Man, I watched from day one, like much of you guys. If you're watching this, you probably did as well. Even maybe some people were late bloomers. They watched Breaking Bad a little bit later, and they came to Better Call Saul. If anybody out there actually watched Better Call Saul and has not seen Breaking Bad, let me know that, because I'm sure there's a couple people out there that have done that. Obviously, everybody knew that it was a prequel, but still, it would definitely be an interesting way to watch the series as a whole. I don't know if you'd appreciate a lot of the stuff that did go down in this series if you did watch this before Breaking Bad, but at the same time, you'll still understand the story, I feel like. But there was a lot of callbacks to the other show, to Breaking Bad, of course, where I feel like you definitely would have missed a lot of those moments. So I don't know. If there's anybody out there that did watch this before Breaking Bad or is planning on watching Breaking Bad after having watched this, let me know. But yeah, we definitely got some stuff to discuss here, guys. Trying to collect my thoughts a little bit here because I am just going right into this from just watching the episode. But yeah, I really didn't know what to expect from the episode. It feels like the first couple minutes, he got busted. It was over. Like, he had everything planned, ready to go. Like, he was trying to make the best of the situation. He grabbed his cell phone. He was in the dumpster. He grabbed the jewels. And then as he's like fumbling around, I guess the police, they were searching. They were doing their search in the alleyway there. And then they stumbled across him because we saw that one cop car pull around to the corner. So he was kind of trapped in between two police. So he just jumped into the dumpster. And then, yeah, he got busted. They knocked. At first, I thought he was going to play it off too. Like he's just a homeless person, a hobo or something. I feel like it was a little bit too late for that, though, because they knocked on it and just like, anybody home? And yeah, it was over at that point. He's busted. That's how Saul Goodman, Gene, Jimmy, whatever you want to call him, and we saw a little bit of all of them this episode. That's how he actually went down. How crazy is that, man? I was saying, too, because I mentioned this in a previous reaction. I think I've gone over it a couple times now, but we've seen the fates of every other character. For most of these characters, it was death, but very few of them got away, and none of them that we've actually seen was busted for the events of Breaking Bad. So to see him actually get busted, and at the very end, too, man, I know I'm going to be jumping around quite a bit, but he talked them down to 7 years. After everything was said and done, 7 freaking years. I'd be willing to do 7 years after that. And he kind of just threw that all away as well. I mean, at the very end, in the court scene, in the courthouse, in the courtroom, he came clean. For the first time, he was actually honest with himself. In the finale, of course. It was great to see, but at the same time, man, be honest with the priest or something while you're doing your 7 years in jail. Don't do that right then and there. But I feel like that was the only way to truly come clean, I guess. If that makes sense in a way, to truly pay for his crimes. And all the discussion of regret all throughout the episode, from the very start of the episode. The flashbacks, man, I appreciate and loved all the flashbacks as well. With Mike, with Walt. And then Marie this episode too, her making an appearance. I was not expecting that at all, for her to really be so involved in the actual trial of Saul Goodman. It was great to see though. I've never been so happy, so thrilled to see Marie. All throughout Breaking Bad, I never hated Marie. It was not like my hate for Skylar. I was definitely part of the Skylar hatred camp, but I don't know, I never really hated Marie. She definitely annoyed me at times, especially during the earlier seasons when she was like super klepto. But in the end, when Breaking Bad ended, man, I just felt so sorry for her. When, especially, she has some great scenes where she broke down in the end. So to see her return to the show, she looks the exact same as well. Much like Walt, Bryan Cranston. I don't know the actress that played Marie, but she looked the exact same. crazy how some of these actors, some of these people, they never aged like a single day. So it was great to see her back in the show. In the very end there, when he was just admitting that everything is well, like he was just going off script. I don't know why he did it. I guess I kind of already went over a little bit in regards to just coming clean with the whole thing, but yeah, I don't know. I definitely would have not done that. That's for dang sure. I'll tell you that much. But when he came clean, it was the first time that he ever truly admitted, first time that he was open about Chuck's death and being responsible for it, truly taking responsibility and taking blame. So I guess it was very fitting in the end. And then, man, they almost got me at the end there too. I don't know why it was so emotional. Just a lot of the callbacks, especially with him at the very end doing the gunshots and then blowing out the smoke, just exactly like Kim did. So that was great to see. I loved all the callbacks. Like, there was way too many for me to name for this recap, but I freaking loved absolutely every single one of them that we got. Even the final scene there, or right before the final walk-up, before she leaves the prison, when they're smoking there in the, I guess it's not really so much an interrogation room, just I guess it's just a meeting room for lawyers and their clients, but she hands the smoke and then just them two leaning against the wall. I feel like we got so many of those scenes in earlier seasons, and for some reason that callback right there, that got me emotional as well. I don't know why. Nothing really sad was happening, but just her appearing in that room, just showing up there at all and just saying what she said, one line to start, "Hi Jimmy." Like, that was so, it hit hard. Let's just say that. At least for me, I don't know about you guys. I'm definitely be watching a lot of other reactions to this afterwards, but of course, I'm gonna have to put out my own first. I've always tried to do that. Make sure I put out my own, just so I'm not like persuaded, even in regards to the actual edit. And then afterwards, once I get this out though, I will definitely be watching everybody else's. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm definitely gonna be watching to see if anybody else got as emotional as I did, especially near the end there. But I don't know, maybe I'm one of the more emotional reactors out there, especially when it comes to a lot of scenes. I don't know why. A lot of the stuff just gets me. I was saying at the very start of this recap as well, when it comes to shows ending and things just coming to an end, relationships, I don't know, I just do not take them well. I never have, I never will. Mid-30s now, I don't think that's going to change. So yeah, I guess it makes for better reactions though for you guys, so there is a positive to it all. But yeah, just how this whole thing played out. Even the lawyer that he chose with Oakley, seeing him coming back in the show, it was kind of cool, kind of a nice thing in a way that he did for him by giving him a high-profile client. It's obviously going to help his reputation, much like taking on Lalo did for himself. So yeah, I really appreciate that. And man, Chuck coming back as well. I feel like it was super necessary, but I didn't really even think about it. There were so many great scenes, like all the lines of dialogue. I was just so captivated by it all. Like, I don't even know for some of it how my actual reaction was. I feel like especially near the end there during the court scene, I was so like invested and captivated by it all that I don't even think I was speaking much. So apologies for that. I don't know how I reacted for those scenes. I was so invested. I was just here as a true fan just watching. So I didn't know how it was going to all play out either. So I don't know, when Saul was up there in the final speech and everybody was like, "Shut up, this is going against you, stop talking." Then it's like, even Oakley there's like, he tried to interrupt like so many times, like, "Oh," and then Gus, I don't know why I'm mentioning him. We didn't see Gus at all, did we? But Saul, he's like, "Man, Bill, stop. Just let me freaking finish. Let me get it out." And then at the very end there, when it was actually revealed with Kim, he talked him down to 7 years. And what did they actually say? I don't remember the actual number. It ended up being 86. Man. Then the bus scene too, when he's being transported to prison. I freaking love that scene. I was a little bit scared for him at first. I'm like, oh shit. The one guy, when the sweat was dropping down the back of his skull, I was thinking, right after he turned, did Saul screw this guy over at some point? Give him like a terrible case, not really, I don't know, protect him well in court? That was not the case. He's like, "You're Saul. Better call Saul." And then he started passing along because right after he's like, "No, I'm not him, man. I'm not him." And then he goes to the guy in front of him. "Hey, got behind me. That's Saul." And the guy with a super deep voice behind him started banging on the chair. Got his attention. Then he turned around slowly. I'm like, oh shit, this is probably not going to go well. He's like, "Hey, better call Saul." So that was freaking awesome. Then everybody on the bus was like, "Better call Saul. Better call Saul." So I freaking love that entire scene. Yeah, just that got me so hyped too. And then you saw a little smirk on his face. I think he was a little bit scared at first just to admit who he was or who he is. And he kind of had, I don't know, like, identity crisis there. Like, not only in court when he's like, no, I'm gonna represent myself. I'm not Gene. I'm gonna be Saul Goodman. It's Saul Goodman versus the United States, or the United States versus Saul Goodman, the people versus Saul Goodman, however you want to say it. So it's like he truly believed that he was Saul again. Like, he almost accepted that this is who he is, this is who he's going down as. Then close to the end of the trial, when he's like, no, I'm Jimmy. So Jimmy McGill. And then he even said on the bus, McGill. But then by the end there, going back to prison, I feel like he accepted being Saul again. So it was kind of a bit of an identity crisis, but I feel like that's who he was. There's so many powerful lines though that I'm thinking of that they're just like coming at me right now in waves. Like, that's why I'm jumping all over the place, but just trying to recap this is so difficult because I just watched this. It was so freaking good. There's so much that I want to say that my mind is like going a million places at once. Like, every time I'm thinking about one thing, another scene hits me. I'm like, all right, now I want to talk about this scene. So the next one that just hit me like a wave crashing was the scene with Walt when they were actually on the run. It was actually during or close to the end of Breaking Bad. Getting an expansion of that scene, just much like the expansion of the desert scene with Mike. And I definitely want to talk about the time travel stuff, but the one thing, or the one line that's really standing out to me right now in this moment was what Walt actually said to him when he's like, get all the time travel stuff out of the way. Let's just talk about regrets. That's really what you want to talk about, right? So let's hear it. What are your regrets? And then he mentioned slipping, that one time that he actually really messed up his back when he pulled a slip and fall. And then Walt was just like, slip and fall. Really? That's your regret after all this? And then he gets up and then he just turns to him one last time. He's like, so you've always been this way. And it's much like what Chuck was saying in the past. Those very many conversations, much like he said this very episode also. Like, it always comes down to this very discussion. It always comes down to this. At the end of the day, this is what it always leads to. But that same discussion, what he said in the past to Jimmy, when he was Jimmy, before he was Saul, is you're going to hurt. This is who you are. You can't help yourself. You're going to hurt everybody around you. So it's who he always was. As crazy it is to say, man, this episode was absolutely phenomenal. This was like the cherry on top. Perfect finale. I couldn't have scripted a better finale, honestly. Especially when things kind of like we got caught up a few episodes ago. I had no idea. I would have been at a loss. If I was the writer, like 4 episodes remain, like AMC's like, all right, we need these final 4 episodes. I know you got us caught up to Breaking Bad. Phenomenal job doing that. But now you need to finish this off. What do we do for these last 4 episodes? I would just be standing there like, I got nothing. So the way that they ended things, giving us more schemes and heists and just seeing everything play out, the stuff with Jeffy. We didn't really get too much of a resolution with Jeffy and Marion. That's okay. I don't feel like there was any real serious consequences for them. Marion, she's going to be flagged as a hero. She's probably going to be in the local paper as the one that took down Saul. So she's definitely going to get some praise. But for Jeffy, did she just leave him in there? I feel like, nah, she probably got him out because once she actually realized who Saul was, she was probably just like, he played my son just like he played everybody else. I'm going to help him out here. So I'm sure in the end, Jeffy's fine. He got out. I don't think he's rotting in a jail cell, much like Saul at the end. But man, this whole episode, I'm trying to think of some more things I want to discuss here because I don't want to just wrap things up so quickly because, oh yes, another thing that I forgot to mention when I kind of set to the side there was the time travel stuff. All the mention of time travel and regret, H.G. Wells, the book, and then the lantern, that one scene both being in the same shot. My God, that was phenomenal also. I can't praise this enough. I think I want to do like an end of the year award show. I mentioned this before. I think it was right after the Nacho episode, right after his death. And that was what, the 3rd or 4th episode of the entire season? My God, this was incredible last season, final season. This is a show too. Man, I'm jumping around here, but this is another show, or one of the few shows where it got better as this series went on. Every single season was better than the next. But back to the last point I was trying to make there. I definitely want to do like my own award show. I'm gonna do like maybe even like a live stream at the end of the year, maybe around Christmas time during the holidays, where I'm basically gonna hand out awards, the Dundies, some kind of special award for Yeah, every series that I watched this year, regardless if it's a new series or not, obviously this is a 2022 show, but for my 2022 annual awards, I would also include like Game of Thrones, even though it ended a couple years ago because I watched it this year. So for everything that I react to or watch for that year, I'm going to have a award show specifically for that. So yeah, I think I'm going to do a live stream at the end of the year. You guys just need to remind me, stay on my ass too for that. If I forget or if I try to put it to the side, make sure that I come through with this because I brought it up a few times. I still want to actually do it. And I got a few ideas because this show is definitely deserving of some awards. But speaking of awards, I actually saw just this past weekend, I'm watching this series or this series finale. I was going to say season finale. The series finale actually just aired last night. So I'm on the ball with this. But just this past weekend, I actually saw some pictures on Twitter. It's always Twitter, wherever they not so much ruin things, but that's really where I get all my info from because I'm not really on social media too much. I stopped going on. I haven't officially deleted my Facebook, but I haven't used it in years. I haven't even logged in. So yeah, Twitter is pretty much my main thing now in regards to getting info and seeing media and seeing what's happening with all the stars. But I did see this past weekend, actually, all the stars were out for some type of award show for TV. It definitely wasn't the Emmys. I'm going to actually tune in for the Emmys in support of these guys, but it wasn't the Emmys. I don't know what award show it was. It definitely wasn't something as big as the Emmys, but it seems like the entire cast was there. And Better Call Saul, man, they raked in the awards. They took in absolutely everything. Like, I'm pretty sure the entire cast won something, like Kim, Saul, Gus, the series as a whole. I don't know if Howard did, but I saw him holding it, but he might have been holding the one for the entire series. Regardless, major props to the entire cast. And I did see like Saul or Bob Odenkirk on stage with the entire cast while they're accepting one of the awards. And he gave a quick speech. It looked like he was a little bit tipsy, but he got right in the mode of Saul. Like he was Saul Goodman come to life there. So it was super cool to see. Definitely check it out if you guys haven't seen it already. But I'm sure if you're watching this, you guys are always on the ball. You guys probably already have. So you guys are the ones that usually let me know about stuff and all the stuff that I miss. So yeah. Another thing that I do want to discuss for this episode was the time travel mentions. And it really goes full circle with the end of the episode, with him coming clean of it all and really accepting responsibility or taking responsibility for even Chuck's death. But all the discussions with time travel, man, I freaking loved it. Going to the very start of the episode with Mike and hearing Mike's thoughts on time travel. I loved it. Like just going back to the first day that he took his bribe and then jumping ahead 5-10 years, you want to check in on everybody. That's one thing, maybe my one only complaint out of this entire series. It's not even a complaint. It's just one thing that would have been a bonus that I would have appreciated, liked to see. I know we got all the mentions of Jesse still being free out there. The one mention though, or the one final fate, I guess we know they're getting by just fine. Like, there's no real cause for concern that I should have. Well, there is a little bit because Mike died in the end. Breaking Bad, where nothing was really left to his family, is his granddaughter. I want to know their ultimate fate. Are they okay in the end? I feel like, yes, they're going to get by just fine, but it's not going to be the life that Mike had set up for them. And we pretty much know everybody else's fate in the show. I can't think of anybody else that they didn't really touch on. So yeah, I don't know. We pretty much got everybody. I'm at a loss for how else they could wrap things up aside from Mike's granddaughter. I know in the end it doesn't really matter what went down with them. I'd just like to know that they ended up okay. So in my mind, maybe they're just going to leave it open. They're perfectly fine. But the time travel stuff with Mike, with him saying, yes, 5 to 10 years, I'd want to jump ahead and just check in on them, make sure that my people are all right. I really did appreciate that. That was great. But then the same conversation with Walt later on in the episode, it's such a Walt thing to do when he's like, are we really discussing this right now? And he's like trying to break down like all the physics and just the entire thing making sense. He's like, are we discussing quantum science right now? Where we are, am I discussing this with you? Stay in your lane. So I really appreciate that, because just the way that Walt reacted, it was just such a Walt reaction. So in line, perfect with the character. I freaking loved it. But yeah, I guess Kim's ultimate fate, she's pretty much the last one that I haven't really discussed at all. I've pretty much gone over every single callback and flashback scene that we got, which was great to see. I love the expansion of all these scenes that we've previously seen from previous episodes, or regardless of the series. They did such a phenomenal job of that. But Kim, I guess in the end there, I was a little bit worried that he was actually going to take her down to kind of save his own ass, because he kind of just didn't care in the end. But then in the very end, that's when he kind of came out, everything came true, or he remained true to himself. That's when we saw a little bit of Jimmy, I guess you could say. But Yeah, I was a little bit worried for Kim there, but in the end, looks like she's going back to what she does best. Even if it is just a small-time lawyer, she's not working in the big city or working with big clients at big companies, Mesa Verde, none of that. She doesn't need any of that. When she was happiest in this show, and what I think in her life, was helping people. When she was working with these smaller clients, and people needed defending, the people that didn't necessarily have the right defense or the right people in the corner, she was the one to be there. So I feel like she went back to that in the end, which was really great to see. Obviously, she's always going to have PTSD and always going to be dealing with the previous events, but for the most part, I feel like she's dealt with them now and she can carry on and move forward. She might still have her occasional breakdown, which is fine, like she's human. But I really did appreciate the fact that she kind of got more or less a happy ending. Not a lot of people did in this series, in Breaking Bad or in Better Call Saul. And look at her counterpart, Saul. He's on the other side of the fence. The other side of the fence, that was a great scene too. Seeing both sides at the very end of the show. But I don't know, I'm definitely super happy for her in the end. So that was great to see as well. I am happy, even though it's not exactly what we thought was going to happen. Maybe not what we necessarily wanted for Kim, which is, I think we all wanted better things for Kim because we know that she was a smart cookie. She was deserving of the most, but she got caught up in this ever since she was a little kid with her mother and like not having the best influences in her life. Let's just say that. But in the end, she's back to doing what she does best, and I think she is somewhat happy. So I'm happy with that ending for Kim because I feel like a lot of people were speculating the ending that Saul got was going to be Kim's ultimate fate. So I'm glad they didn't go that route. But yeah, man, this series is now over. I cannot believe it. Breaking Bad universe. I don't know when we're going to get the next entry. I refuse to believe that we're never going to see anything else in the Breaking Bad universe ever again. I don't know if it's going to be another TV series. I don't know if it's going to be another movie. I really don't know what it's going to be. I just refuse to believe that this is it, that it's truly over. But as for Breaking Bad, as for now, as for Better Call Saul, as for El Camino, as of right now, this is it. I don't know what else I would want to see if we were to jump back into the Breaking Bad universe. I'd definitely like to see, I think the one person that, I don't know if it's kind of like a dark horse pick. I'm sure everybody else out there already has their ideas in regards to what they would do to expand the Breaking Bad universe. I wouldn't mind more Jesse getting, maybe someone will say that his story is complete, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind catching up with him in the future, maybe like 10, 20 years, going back to the Jesse role, and then he gets caught up in something or somebody finds out or recognizes something leads to him being busted and his true identity being revealed. He has to go on the run again. I don't know. That would be interesting in the future, but I don't need that right now. But for one character that might be the dark horse pick is the vet. I think it was Dr. Caldera or something like that. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, I wouldn't mind learning more about him. His episode this season, I think it was episode 6, when he's just like, yeah, animals are my life. I love helping animals. Like, that warmed my heart, and right there I was like, you know what? I like this character. Don't ever let anything happen to Dr. Caldera. Perfect Q. What's up, buddy? Right when I was talking about the vet, eh? You don't even like the vet. I don't know if you guys can see him here. He's getting a little bit bigger. Come here, buddy. Let's wrap things up here. All right, he wanted some screen time here. See how big he's getting too? Hey, buddy, you feeling good? All right, I'll let you go. You don't like the tie? Big jump. Good boy. Oh, man, that was a terrible idea. Now I got fur all over me now. But yeah, that was pretty much it for me, guys, anyway. I don't really have too much more to say in regards to this episode other than just saying the same thing over and over, that it was absolutely phenomenal. I love the time travel, regret discussions. I loved all the flashbacks, the expansions of previous scenes that we had seen before with Mike, with Chuck, with Walt. The return of Marie, the return of Bill, Kim being free in the end, and then Saul in the end doing time, going away. He is not getting out anytime soon. Like, he seemed at peace with it all, though, which was kind of surprising. But yeah, I think that's about it for me, guys. So now I can finally take this off. My God, that was freaking killing me. I'm not a fan of ties. I actually freaking hate ties. I always feel like I'm suffocating in ties, but I made the most of it for you guys. that's a wrap though. We are done with Better Call Saul. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my reactions to the series. Obviously they didn't do as many views as Game of Thrones, but that's perfectly fine. Because even in the end there, I'm looking at the actual final views for the final episodes. It doesn't show the series finale because it just aired last night, but last week's 1.32 million people tuned in for it. I feel like it's deserving of a hell of a lot more people tuning in. So for those that did, you guys witnessed what I witnessed, and that was something special. For those that didn't, shame. Shame on you. Eventually, I feel like word is going to get out just how good this show was, if it isn't out already. But for those that missed out, or maybe just held off on actually watching it, maybe some people wanted to wait until the entire series was over so they could just binge watch the entire thing. But it's over, guys. If you're one of those people waiting, dive in. But as always, definitely let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. And seriously, guys, let me know absolutely everything. Your favorite season, your favorite episode, everything when it comes to the show. Your favorite character. Obviously, Saul is the title character, but I know there's a lot of people that also love Kim out there. I'm one of them. So yeah, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know absolutely everything. I'm going to be trying my best to respond to as many as possible. Quick reminder, I do not respond to hate. So yeah, if there's any hate on me as a reactor, maybe keep it to yourself. If there's any hate on the show, be a critic. I don't mind. I'm not a writer, so I don't mind that at all. I'm not the creator of the show. I can take it. If you guys did not like this finale, let me know. If you guys love this finale as much as I did, let me know. Hopefully nobody out there actually hated this finale, because I think the only time where I've done a finale reaction where people absolutely hated it, and I was like, I really, really liked it, was the Dexter New Blood finale. So in the end, yeah, I might have been a little bit wrong with that one when I said it was perfect. I was just caught up in the actual episode. Sometimes it takes a couple watches to kind of form a true opinion of it when you're not like recency bias. But I don't know. Now that I've watched that finale, just got a little bit off topic here. Now that I've watched the Dexter New Blood finale, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but I still really, really liked it. All right, I'm almost done, buddy. But this one, as of right now, I think I'm pretty close to perfect now. I might just go ahead and say it was perfect as well. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. As always, if you guys can like, subscribe, it really helps my channel grow. Hopefully you enjoy these reactions. Hopefully you guys are subscribed already. If you're not, what are you guys waiting for? What I'm going to be moving on to next is House of the Dragon. And what else is coming back? I think The Walking Dead final episodes are returning as well. And then next year, the big one, the main show that I'm really looking forward to is HBO's The Last of Us. So, yeah, and then in this October, I'm also going to be doing a bunch of horror stuff, so something else to look forward to. Definitely not stopping from here. So yeah, like I said, as always, definitely let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys can like, subscribe, it really helps my channel grow. Till next time, I am out. Enjoy your day. Peace.
Well, I didn't smoke enough for you, didn't drink enough for you, wasn't fun enough for you, wasn't good enough for you, damn. You play me like a yo-yo and shit. Well,